Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time and zone of location. You are welcome to this channel. We are here live for this evening broadcast. This is Nelly's TV, please. We are here live. We are here live. We'll keep exposing all the atrocities that is happening that they are trying to cover. Please, as you come in, click the like button and share this video. Let it go viral. And if you've not subscribed, please do well to subscribe. But before you subscribe, I beg you, just watch for at least 30 seconds before you subscribe. Otherwise, your subscription will be invalid. So it will be very pertinent, very important. You watch for 30 seconds before subscribing. And importantly, please click the like button. It will help YouTube to share this broadcast and let it go viral. Okay? Uche ndị mmadụ, uche ndị nọ na zoo emebigo. Anụ efi ha na-ata. Ndị Fulani mechaa all their incantation. Ha wee buru anụ efi ha mere incantation bubetere ndị mmadụ. Ha tachaa onye ọbụla, uche onye ọbụla agbagọzi agbagọ, nweghịzi onye na-eche echiche ka ezigbo ndị mmadụ. Ha emechaa ya nnọọ, ha were manipulation tinye ndị mmadụ n'isi. Ndị mmadụ ga-akwụsị ịta anụ efi. O nwego mgbe e merie si ndị mmadụ tadobe na anụ efi. Unu hụkwara mgbe ha na-edinekwu di ma anụ efi nwanụ. Hai Chineke, na onwe ha atrocities ndị a na-emebe. Ha na-anọ dinee nnama. Ha dinecha nnama, ha eburu ya, ha egbuo ya, butere ndị mmadụ, ha taa. A na-atara pọtị na-awụba n'ime ahụ. Amazi nke a na-anya anya. Chineke nna. Atụchazie ị na-akpazi agwa ka ndị Fulani. Ha na-emezi ndị mmadụ control. Tadebe na anụ efi ndị mmadụ. Dododo ọkwa ka ọ dịrị anyị mma. Maka ndị a na-eme ihe ndị a na-eme otu ekeghị ya. Ha na-eme arụ dị iche iche. Ha na-eme arụ dị iche iche. Nke ahụ gbara na net na ebe ha na-edina nnama. Kemgbe ahụ, that is nnama akpato ya awụsa m. Akpato ya awụsa m. I'm telling you. So, but we will keep exposing them. Maka ndị na-agọchitara Nigeria na-agọ na-enweghị Christian genocide, ma ndị na-asị ka eme attack like onye dịka Deboye say Tinubu should add fat. M na-ajụ ebe ka a ga-ebido. Everywhere is corrupt. Everywhere is polluted. Hite n'isi gọọmenti rue n'ọdụdụ. So onwe ka ebe a ga-ebido. The best thing is to your tent, O Israel. Onye ọbụla lawa be ya. Kenu garị. Onye chọrọ ịnwụ anwụ, ọnwụọ, ọchọ ọnwụ mmiri, ọwụnye mmiri nwụọ. Onye chọrọ ịta nke ya na ọkpọrọ. Excuse me. Ọ tawe ụta ahụ. Ọ wụrụ akịka ọ hụrụ, ọ tie nwunye n'ime ya, tawe ụta ahụ. Onye nkwadoro nri si ofe. O mee mmiri ọkụ rie nke ya. So ka onye ọbụla hapụ na-etinyere ibe ya anya. Igbo this, Igbo that. Biafra this, Biafra that. Hapụkwanụ ha ka ala unu ajụ. Trump azagu n'okwu. Unu kpọrọ ya for how many years? Unu kpọrọ Obama. Trump adazie nke ụba si nọ n'azụ unu okwu. Unu atọ ọnụkwa wee budewezie ndị Igbo. Anya na-akwa atụ egwu. Anyị anaghị eme nkụja maka ya ejighị ụjọ wee too. Honestly. Anyị anaghị eme nkụja. The only problem anyị ka enwe ugbu a wụ ndị si na ha na-achị achị ndị politicians nọ na South East. Mana God will intervene. Akwapụcha ha niile n'ụzọ. Okay? So na-atụfugo oge. Ndewonu ụmụ Chukwu. Ndewonu, greetings to everyone. Ọ ga-adịrị mmadụ niile na mma. Ọhamadike. Jehova ga-echekwa gị, kpuchite gị ruo 20th. Anyị ahụ ihe ndị zoo ji na-abịa. but God will give you victory because you have already said that there is God in heaven who is the God of judgment. He's the God of justice. And it's only that God that will give you justice, and he will do it. Maazị Simon Ekpa, otu a ka anyị na-ekpegbere gị ka ndị na-emegharị ụbụrụ gị, ka Chineke na wepụ ha n'ọnụ ụzọ gị, ka a hapụ ị na-emegharị ụbụrụ gị, ka uche gị zuo oke, ka ị nwee nnwere onwe gị kwa. Anyị wụ ndị Biafra, anyị niile ga-enwere onwe anyị. Maazị Ogechukwu Nkere, ka ị na-aga na-abata, okporo ụzọ ga na-erubere gị isi, ndị na-akụ aka na be ha ga na-ege gị ntị. Ịkụ aka n'ụzọ ka ha mepere, ịkụ ugboro 10 ka ha mepere gị ugboro 10. Ịjụọ ugboro 7 ka ha zaa gị ugboro 7. Ọzịza m ga-enweta victory. Otu a ka ọ ga-adị. 5 5 5. Okay, let's go. All right, anyị ga-agbapụ ya ọsọ. Quick one. Okay, tupu ma na-ebido tupu m aga n'ihu n'ọtụtụ ihe anyị nwe, I just want to make in line of our Minister of Information, there are people that vote calling, and I would have loved if this broadcast will also be sent to them. Please, I am calling on Gaddafi. Gaddafi, you are a Biafran. All right. Gaddafi, you are a Biafran. I am calling also on Mama Arewa. Mama Arewa. People that had Biafra at heart. I'm calling on Madam Azuka and family. We all know how you people were fought and leveled allegations. I might not know the name of some other people who were victims of Ngozi's madness and Adandosho. But I'm using this avenue to say, please, Biafra is for every one of us. Please, Iwegi Dajwo. Maka Maazị Nnamdi Kanu, ka iwe gị dajụọ. Maka your generation, maka your integrity, ka iwe gị dajụọ. Hapụ ka ihe tara n'abalị ka ọ bụrụ anwụ. Unu ahụgo ya clearly na Ngozi bịara ogbugbu. Okay? Mandi tinyere ha aka. I know when Gaddafi was saying that otu remedies si wee bodo ya shi niile buru propaganda. But ndị anyị na-ele, ị na-ahụ ka ha na-ada ngụlụ, ha si ebe a ha daba na the other place, ha si ebe ha daba na-achọ nnọọ ebe ihe si apụta. You that know that you have Biafra at heart, you want Biafra to come. Yeah, because of their sabotage. Please and please, come back. Come back. You can look for Maazị Ogechukwu Nkere's contacts, please, and contact him. Gaa nụrụ ihe ọ ga-agwa gị. You can look for the Minister of Information Minister and call him. Gaa nụrụ ihe ọ ga-agwa gị. Please. Ask now that they're supposed to contact you. Please. They might not remember because of one thing or the other. We are making, I personally is making this special plea for you, to you, on behalf of Biafra. On behalf of Biafra. Biko Nunu. Biko Nunu. Onye ma these people should send this broadcast to them. Yaga ka Gaddafi, ya ruo Gaddafi aka, ya ruo Mama Arewa aka, ya ruo Azuka and her family aka. Bikonu. You can look for a way to contact the Minister of Information. Don't say that they're supposed to contact you. Biko. Nana ha amasha. And The Minister of Information has said, onye ọbụla buruwa, the genuine ones, dịka ununwa, dịka people like you. I have been calling you guys names since I started this broadcast. Man, I say that there are people that are supposed to be apologized. Nidiri ka si ha do maka na onye mbịara itise Biafra chụpụrụ unu maka na ọ họrọ unu kwu n'eziokwu. Okay, so that is why I want to use this medium to plead, say Shirenu Wufuo, and come back for us to get Biafra, because Biafra first and Biafra or nothing. I know you love this freedom. I know you love your motherland. I know you will not want the Janjaweed to take over it. I'm an onye dịka Azuka, otu esi ga may attack, may invade, destroy ya ụlọ ha dịka as I heard o. But ụfọdụ were ya mekwa the propaganda. Biko Shirinu Wufuo. Look at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, how long he has been suffering. How long? Ọtụtụ ihe ọ wụfugoro awụfu. Ọta ahụ n'aka nwunye maka na ọ na-azọ Biafra. Ọta ahụ maka ụmụnne maka na ọ na-azọ Biafra. Ọta ahụ maka ndị Biafra, ọ na-azọrọ Biafra. Ọta ahụ maka site n'aka Nigeria maka Biafra. So tunezie ni anọ. Biko o Shiano ndewonu. Okay, so not to forgo Gobula. This broadcast, I will not talk much. So by God's grace, I will allow this video to play. Maybe Omesha play, we will explain, or whenever I get may interject, I may interject, but I would have loved it to go smoothly, or go smoothly. Maybe we'll replay it and explain, or as God led. This is very, very important. Kono noro maka ndị na-asị n'ole natural ndị bandits n'ihe ga-adị mma. Mbano onweghị ihe ga-adị mma o. Nigeria is gone beyond repair. Nigeria is gone beyond repair. Okay? So that is it. Let us go. Let's hear this pastor. This pastor was once a Muslim. He's from the north. So Nurono eziokwu na-akụghọ mmiri. Let us go.
Psalm 1992-93 in Kaduna. Psalm 1992-93 in Kaduna. A riot broke out which they call the Zango Kataf riot. I was a young boy, very, very young then. And people were killed in scores. If you are not an Hausa person practicing Muslim in Islam, they were killed. Especially if you are from the southern part of Kaduna, the tribes from the southern part of Kaduna, they were massacred. It was called the Zango Kataf riot. And if the next thing they do is to burn churches, kill Christians, and then if they are done with that, then they focus on businesses that is for Igbo people, Igbo-owned businesses, and they destroyed it. I grew up knowing that Christians
have you heard it? They will also destroy businesses that are for Igbos, because they know that majority of these Christians are Igbos. Ụfọdụ ndị na-ekpe ihe ha na-ekpekwa na-akụ isi n'ala, we just know ndị batara abata. Igbo is typically Christians and traditionalists. All right? You get what is just no insignificant percent of maybe here the Judaism, which nka batara abata. Maniye jimara ndị Igbo Christians and traditionalists. So they started by buying Christians. Manaha bata n'obodo, because the Hausas who are Muslims are mixed up with Christians, so they don't even know who is who. That is why some of them were victims. Or they even see that you are an Hausa a Muslim who is not in support of what they are doing, or you're living in the midst of Christians. They won't even mind. They will buy everything. So they will target Igbo's properties. Hear him again.
At 1992-93 in Kaduna, a riot broke out which they call the Zango Kataf riot. I was a young boy, very, very young then, and people were killed in scores. If you are not an Hausa person practicing Muslim in Islam, they were killed.
Have you seen when this is happening? Since 1992. So Abutege from Goodluck regime, they have started made this thing. Jihadist activities. Now, but so also during the second term of Goodluck, to act massively. Mana Goodluck, where were wisdom? Where Soroha? As far back as 1992. How many years now? Check here. From 1992 to 2005. How many years? So this thing has eaten into the fabrics. Okay? Isacha will not eat any no way zara. And by then, ekego onye ọbụla ndị ọbụla jenu take care of you people's side. Eke ndị ọbụla ngwa jenu gwa onwe unu ịba. Jenu gwa onwe unu ịba. Go and treat yourself. Then you go in heart cleansing. But it's kwage kasina na be fight the terrorists. Okay? So, but we trust Americans. We trust what they know what is happening. They know everything.
I was a young boy, very, very young then, and people were killed in scores. If you are not an Hausa person practicing Muslim in Islam, they were killed. Especially if you are from the southern part of Kaduna, the tribes from the southern part of Kaduna, they were massacred. It was called the Zango Kataf riot.
If you are not an Hausa person, if you are an Hausa person that is not an Islam, they will buy you. Okay? They will buy you. So that was the problem. If you are not an Hausa person that is not a Muslim, they will buy you. You know, they came in with Mehaka just enough for them to come in. That is why you don't give these people a chance. The Hausas gave them a chance. Come in, as they came, they have gotten balance. And after they have gotten balance, they are now showing them their true color, showing them who they are and what they want. All right? So that is the problem. All right. So let us go ahead.
And if the next thing they do is to burn churches, kill Christians, and then if they're done with that, then they focus on businesses that is for Igbo people, Igbo owned businesses, and they destroyed it. I grew up knowing that Christians are an endangered species in Nigeria. In the year 2000, when the Sharia riots, how many of you have heard of the Sharia riot? Hundreds of thousands of people were killed in Kaduna. I can remember vividly that we had to defend our house from people. They brought some Fulani boys and they faced our house. They were shooting arrows. They were stoning our zinc. They spot our zinc shooting arrows. Even though I was a Muslim then. Even though my father was a Muslim then. But because majority of the people in our compound were Christians, so they were willing to destroy every one of us because we're living with Christians. I can remember a particular church in Mando, for those that know Mando, in Kaduna, called Chapel of Redemption. That church was destroyed. And so from that time, anytime there's a little hanky-panky in Nigeria, the first target is churches and Christians. And this has prevailed for a long time. That even if there's a problem with in another country, the Muslim and the Hausas in Nigeria will rise up and begin to kill Christians. How many of you remember the Miss World crisis in 2002, 2001, 2002? That somebody drew a picture of Muhammad or something in France, long away in France, and they began to fight in Nigeria.
Exactly, I remember vividly that period. There were a lot of massacre in southern Kaduna. In fact, it was horrible. It was horrible. It was horrible. I was in the north then, during that incident. Even people that were not in southern Kaduna, everybody was running. A lot of people were running because from there they were attacking Igbos.
Are you following me? Christians are endangered species. Now let me give you, and that's how it has continued. Scores have been killed, and they focus on regions where there is a mixture of both Christianity and Islam. If you look at states like Kaduna, state like Plateau State, state like Nasarawa, state like Taraba, state like Benue, state like Bauchi, state like Gombe, state like Borno. These are places where they focus on because they intend to eliminate every living Christian in that place. Anybody that debunked it is a total lie, because I have grown and lived in the north.
Okay.
I've spent 80 to 80% of my life in the north, so I understand this thing. Several times, I cannot forget the Sharia riot. We were running for our life.
Most of them that have not even experienced this incident are the one defending it. Most of them that have not even gone to the north. Most of them that have not experienced this first-hand information, they are the one making this defense. Because Nakuru had 20,000, they will only come to be defending what is undefendable. Have you seen it? So that is the problem we are having. Because conscience. Let's go. Now this corner, but I name object interject this broadcast.
Lives. Even though we're Muslims, but we're still running, because as far as you are not of the ethnic group practicing what they practice, you are a victim. You can be burnt alive. Many of us saw human beings that were burnt alive, like roasted like yam. And it has been going on for a long time. The genocide against the Christian faith. Are you with me? Many years ago, in Kano State, a man was beheaded. And anything they talk about, he said blasphemy. And guess who was the person that led it? The man called Sanusi, Lamido Sanusi, was the one that led the mob. And they beheaded it. They killed the Igbo man.
Have you seen it? Who led it? Sanusi Labinus. Who is Sanusi? Sanusi, the former central, the former central bank governor. So let's hear it again. It's very, very important. Very important.
I understand this thing. Several times, I cannot forget the Sharia riot. We were running for our lives. Even though we're Muslims, but we're still running, because as far as you are not of the ethnic group.
Sharia riot. So they brought in this Sharia. When they were trying to force people into this Sharia, there was a lot of chaos. Very big problem. Very big problem. Very big problem. So, have you seen it? Even if, as far as you're not from the ethnic of Fulani, as far as you're not a Fulani person, you are in trouble. Okay? So
I understand this thing. Several times, I cannot forget the Sharia riot. We were running for our lives. Even though we're Muslims, but we're still running, because as far as you are,
even though there were Muslims,
not of the ethnic group practicing what they practice, you are a victim. You can be burnt alive. Many of us saw human beings that were burnt alive, like roasted like yam. And it has been going on for a long time. The genocide against the Christian faith. Are you with me? Many years ago, in Kano State, a man was beheaded. And anything they talk about,
I want to take this place back because it's very, very important. Sanusi is one of the terrorist founder. Biafra Divine, you are welcome. God bless you for joining. God bless you. Sanusi, the former governor of Central Bank, is also involved. Where do you begin to do this cleansing of terrorism? Where will you begin the cleansing of terrorism? Sanusi was also involved. Hear him again. And this one is telling you, as a first-class victim.
of us saw human beings that were both alive, like roasted like yam. And it has been going on for a long time. The genocide against the Christian faith.
A young man.
Are you with me? Many years ago, in Kano State, a man was beheaded. And anything they talk about, he said blasphemy. And guess who was the person that led it? The man called Sanusi Lamido. Sanusi was the one that led him on, and they beheaded.
Sanusi Lamido. Sanusi Lamido was the one that led to that incident. Sanusi Lamido led to that riot. Who know that? They know how their allies, with their machinery, their biggest machinery. Sanusi Lamido. And who did they buy? An Igbo man. An Igbo man. Hear him again.
The genocide against the Christian faith. Are you with me? Many years ago, in Kano State, a man was beheaded. And anything they talk about, he said blasphemy. And guess who was the person that led it? The man called Sanusi Lamido. Sanusi was the one that led him on, and they beheaded him. They killed the Igbo man. They killed him and they put his head on the stake, and they were using it to parade the city. You will understand of a woman also that is an evangelist. An evangelist Eunice that was preaching about 2016 or 18 in Abuja. And they killed her. We cannot talk about a young girl called Deborah Samuel that was killed. I schooled in Jos, and for years, the people of Plateau have been massacred. Riot breaking out every single time. The one that the moment anything happens, the next people that are victims are Christians. And it is unfortunate that all these years the government have not been able to do anything about it. But the agenda is deep. Are you with me this morning? Why am I saying? Because I don't want us to be an ignorant people. If we're ignorant people, they will control the narrative. And these days, let me tell you this truth. God will not come and fight for you. Remove that thing from your mind.
Have you heard what he said? God will not come and fight for you. Remove that thing from your mind. We are trusting in God. We are believing in God. God has made us human. It's only his grace that we will need to direct us on how to fight. And that is why we are fighting in our own way. Sanusi Lamido, the former governor of Central Bank, led to the riots that they pied an Igbo man head. And they pied an Igbo man and carried the head and was celebrating Ram Kaduna. Ebeka Gebido, this terrorism cleansing.
Christians don't rise up. Pray from that to tomorrow. God is not coming to fight for you. Are you with me? Now, in the year 2009, Boko Haram started. Boko Haram started because of a section. It was a political movement. They created Boko Haram as a political talks to bring confusion into the government of Goodluck Jonathan, and to be able to destroy any opposition, starting from Borno State, under the watch of a man called Kashim Shettima, which is now the vice president of Nigeria.
Have you seen it? Kashim Shettima, who is the vice president of Nigeria. Sanusi Lamido is involved in this terrorism act. Shettima is involved, who is the vice president, is involved. Let me hear his name again.
And to be able to destroy any opposition, starting from Borno State, under the watch of a man called Kashim Shettima, which is now the vice president of Nigeria.
Kashim Shettima.
Kashim Shettima and the other man, Ali Momodu Sharif.
Ali Momodu Sharif. Ali Momodu Sharif. Kashim Shettima, the vice president. The former governor of Central Bank. These are the people involved in terrorism. Ebeka Gebido.
These were the people that started the business of Boko Haram as a political talks to be able to oppose their opponents. But after a time, the ideology grew and they began to destroy. Now, it became a problem and they began to use it to destroy, bombing here and there. In 2009, 2010. As of 2010, a man led a meeting in Jos. Are you with me? He led a meeting that they were going to annihilate Christians within the locality of Plateau, Borno, Plateau, Bauchi, Kaduna, and Nasarawa. And he said they are going to perform jihad. They will bring jihad and they will go to kill that. If the Islamic leaders are not willing to lead them, he is ready to lead the movement. I have the minute of that meeting in my phone presently. Guess who is that person? Issa Pantami, that was the former Minister of Communication under Buhari's regime.
Have you seen it? Issa Pantami, Isa Pantami. Have you seen it? That if their leader is not ready to lead them, he will be the one to lead them. And who was Isa Pantami? They hear him again. Hear him again. A head under Buhari's regime. Minister of what? Hear him again.
The locality of Plateau, Borno, Plateau, Bauchi, Kaduna, and Nasarawa. And he said they are going to perform jihad. They will bring jihad and they will go to Kida. If the Islamic leaders are not willing to lead them, he is ready to lead the movement. I have the minute of that meeting in my phone presently. Guess who is that person? Isa Pantami, that was the former minister of communication under
Isa Pantami, the former minister of communication under Buhari. All right? So these are the people involved. Lamido Sanusi is involved. Lamido Sanusi is involved. Isa Pantami and the vice president currently now.
Buhari's regime. And several times, these are people that are terrorist sympathizers. And that is why the Nigerian army have not been able to win the war against the terrorism. Because people have, the terrorists have infiltrated the Nigerian ranks, the army ranks, so they cannot win the war. That said, Osama bin Laden was a better Muslim than he is. He was sad when Osama bin Laden was killed. And he has said it several times that Boko Haram should not be killed. He said they are their Muslim brothers. How do you win a war against terrorism? When there are people high in government that are sympathizers to terrorism, how do you win that war? Now, there are 4 categories of insecurity or people that are causing insecurity. Number 1, you have Boko Haram. Number 2, you have bandits. Number 3, you have Fulani herdsmen. Now I'm going to show you how they are connected. Many people don't know. The Boko Haram and the Fulani herdsmen have one mission. The mission is simple: Islamize Nigeria. Come to a territory that are Christian dominated, kill everybody there, occupy their land.
Some people don't believe. They say Nigeria can never be Islamized. It's not possible. How Nigeria is a very big white country. How can you Islamize them? Una nugoya. Unya awu first-hand information. First-hand information. He was a Muslim before, from the north. So this meeting on Awagewu, maybe he was part of the meeting executed as Muslims. So the minute of the meeting is still in him, with him.
Go to Benue, look for a community, kill them, they occupy their land. That is always me. Boko Haram and the Fulani herdsmen. Have you noticed that Fulani herdsmen they don't kidnap, they kill. There's hardly a place you hear that Fulani herdsmen capture that they say these are Fulani herdsmen. No, when they go, they kill. How do they kill? They kill with guns. You must now ask yourself, how does a Fulani man get AK-47? Do you know the cost of one AK-47? One AK-47 is...
Thank you, Divine, Biafra Divine, Minister of Telecommunication. Okay.
Over $1,000 something. Where will a Fulani man be able to obtain to be able to get one AK-47? Are you with me? And now, so you will know that there are people that are sponsoring this movement. Then the Boko Haram and the Fulani, they go about Christian-dominated areas. You will understand that when this terrorism started in Nigeria, that only people that were killed were Christian churches. You will not hear that they kill anyone. It is Christians and churches. I remember.
And onye mediri Minister of Telecommunication on our engineer. Onwe anything normal maka telecommunication. Onwe anything normal. He doesn't know anything about communication. Nkowa netienzi kwa tele ni me ya. Oma anything, but because they are putting them in the hem of their face. And these people are not Nigerians. They are not indigenous. They are not the owners of the land. Hasiesi bata. Okay? I said I wouldn't want to. Anyway, let's go.
Remember in Kaduna then that churches began to look for security men to guide their churches in every service day. Otherwise, you can be in church and the next is boom, everybody dies. And churches that don't have money to hire soldiers began to use some of their members. I was a member of the security team in my church in Deeper Life in Kaduna in 2010. Because we don't stay in the church. Once I come to the church in the morning, we stay outside, moving around patrolling, because anybody can come and drop anything. So when Boko Haram started, the majority of Muslims, the Hausa, Northern Muslims, the Hausa, they were happy. I know of people that were celebrating it. If you see them crying today, I'll tell you why. At the initial beginning of this thing, they were happy celebrating the killings of Christians. They said they are purging Nigeria of RNA. It was majorly on Christians and Christian-dominated areas. But when it comes to 2014, the man Buhari and APC that wanted to overthrow the government of Jonathan, by all means, decided to employ mercenaries from Niger, from Chad, from all those Fulani, from other African nations where they're Fulani, and they brought them into Nigeria. What was the goal? The goal was that if Jonathan does not concede defeat in the election, they were going to rain hell on Nigeria. So they brought in these mercenaries and they equipped them with rifles, the Erufais, the Buharis. Are you with me? The Erufais, the Buharis. Every one of these people called APC, they brought in mercenaries and armed them in the bushes and told them to wait. The moment Jonathan did not concede defeat in the election, they were going to start. But unfortunately for them, Goodluck knew of the assignment. He got intel about it, and because the man said his ambition does not worth the blood of millions. So the man considered defeat and left. And so they declared APC winner. Now, you have already brought people from different parts to come and fight. But what they wanted to come and fight for did not achieve anymore. So now they left those people in the bush. They left them with guns and ammunition in the bush. And when Buhari became the president, he abandoned them. Instead of them to settle them and let them go back, they abandoned them. And the people saw Nigeria as a place that is good. And the people decided to remain in Nigeria. Those are the people that started bandits. Before, we don't have anything like bandits. Banditry started under the watch of APC, under Buhari, because they were the ones that brought them in. Kidnapping, because they needed to survive. So they started by kidnapping. And they started by kidnapping. And they started by kidnapping. And they started by kidnapping. Over time, now, you understand that there are certain parts of this nation where there are mineral resources. Don't be an ignorant Christian. Follow me. Don't be an ignorant Christian. Don't be in a nation where you don't have understanding of what is happening. Now, there are some parts of Nigeria where there are good resources. And this is...
Sorry, please. This place is very, very important. Ebo mentioned these people. So I'm going back to replay it again. I will not talk. So that let it go. I won't interject it by God's grace. So that let people hear it again. Makandi Shori Meya, people that would like to use it also. So let's hear him again.
If you are not an Afsa person practicing Muslim in Islam, they were killed. Especially if you are from the southern part of Kaduna, the tribes from the southern part of Kaduna, they were massacred. It was called the Zango Katafriot. And if the next thing they do is to burn churches, kill Christians, and then if they are done with that, then they focus on businesses that is for Igbo people, Igbo-owned businesses, and they destroyed it. I grew up knowing that Christians are an endangered species in Nigeria. In the year 2000, when the Sharia riots, how many of you have heard of the Sharia riot? Hundreds of thousands of people were killed in Kaduna. I can remember vividly that we had to defend our house from people. They brought some Fulani boys and they faced our house. They were shooting arrows. They were stoning our zinc. They spot our zinc, shooting arrows. Even though I was a Muslim then. Even though my father was a Muslim then. But because majority of the people in our compound were Christians, so they were willing to destroy every one of us because we're living with Christians. I can remember a particular church in Mando, for those that know Mando, in Kaduna, called Chapel of Redemption. That church was destroyed. And so from that time, anytime there's a little hanky-panky in Nigeria, the first target is churches and Christians. And this has prevailed for a long time. That even if there's a problem with in another country, the Muslim and the Hausas in Nigeria will rise up and begin to kill Christians. How many of you remember the Miss World crisis in 2002, 2001, 2002? That somebody drew a picture of Muhammad or something in France, long away in France, and they began to fight in Nigeria. Are you following me? Christians are endangered species. Now let me give you, and that's how it has continued. Scores have been killed, and they focus on regions where there is a mixture of both Christianity and Islam. If you look at states like Kaduna, states like Plateau State, states like Nasarawa, states like Taraba, states like Benue, states like Bauchi, states like Gombe, states like Borno. These are places where they focus on because they intend to eliminate every living Christian in that place. Anybody that debunks it is a total lie because I have grown and lived in the north. I've spent 80 to 80% of my life in the north, so I understand this thing. Several times, I cannot forget the Sharia riot. We were running for our lives. Even though we were Muslims, but we're still running because as far as you are not of that ethnic group, practicing what they practice, you are a victim. You can be burnt alive. Many of us saw human beings that were burnt alive, like roasted like yam. And it has been going on for a long time. The genocide against the Christian faith. Are you with me? Many years ago, in Kano State, a man was beheaded. And anything they talk about, he said blasphemy. And guess who was the person that led it? The man called Sanusi Lamido Sanusi was the one that led him on. And they beheaded him, they killed the Igbo man. They killed him and they put his head on the stake and they were using it to parade the city. You will understand of a woman also that is an evangelist. Evangelist Eunice that was preaching about 2016 or 18 in Abuja. And they killed her. We cannot talk about a young girl called Deborah Samuel that was killed. I schooled in Jos, and for years, the people of Plateau have been massacred. Riot breaking out every single time. The word that the moment anything happens, the next people that are victims are Christians. And it is unfortunate that all these years the government have not been able to do anything about it. But the agenda is deep. Are you with me this morning? Why am I saying? Because I don't want us to be an ignorant people. If we're ignorant people, they will control the narrative. And these days, let me tell you this truth. God will not come and fight for you. Remove that thing from your mind. If Christians don't rise up, pray from that till tomorrow. God is not coming to fight for you. Are you with me? Now, in the year 2009, Boko Haram started. Boko Haram started because of a section. It was a political movement. They created Boko Haram as a political talks to bring confusion into the government of Goodluck Jonathan, and to be able to destroy any opposition, starting from Borno State, under the watch of a man called Kashim Shettima, which is now the vice president of Nigeria. Kashim Shettima and the other man, Ali Mohammed Sharif. These were the people that started the business of Boko Haram as a political talks to be able to oppose their opponents. But after a time, the ideology grew and they began to destroy. Now, it became a problem and they began to use it to destroy, bombing here and there. In 2009, 2010. As of 2010, a man led a meeting in Jos. Are you with me? He led a meeting that they were going to annihilate Christians within the locality of Plateau, Borno, Plateau, Bauchi, Kaduna, and Nasarawa. And he said they are going to perform jihad. They will bring jihad and they will go to kill them. If the Islamic leaders are not willing to lead them, he is ready to lead the movement. I have the minute of that meeting in my phone presently. Guess who is that person? Issa Pantami, that was the former minister of communication under Buhari's regime. And several times, these are people that are terrorist sympathizers. And that is why the Nigerian army have not been able to win the war against the terrorism. Because people have, the terrorists have infiltrated the Nigerian ranks, the army ranks, so they cannot win the war. That said, Osama bin Laden was a better Muslim than he is. He was sad when Osama bin Laden was killed. And he has said it several times that Boko Haram should not be killed. He said they are their Muslim brothers. How do you win a war against terrorism when there are people high in government that are sympathizers to terrorism? How do you win that war? Now, there are 4 categories of insecurity or people that are causing insecurity. Number 1, you have Boko Haram. Number 2, you have bandits. Number 3, you have Fulani herdsmen. Now I'm going to show you how they are connected. Many people don't know. The Boko Haram and the Fulani herdsmen have one mission. The mission is simple: Islamize Nigeria. Come to a territory that are Christian dominated, kill everybody there, occupy their land. Go to Benue, look for a community, kill them there, occupy their land. That is always me. Boko Haram and the Fulani herdsmen. Have you noticed that Fulani herdsmen they don't kidnap, they kill? There's hardly a place you hear that Fulani herdsmen capture that they say these are Fulani herdsmen. No, when they go, they kill. How do they kill? They kill with guns. You must now ask yourself, how does a Fulani man get AK-47? Do you know the cost of one AK-47? One AK-47 is over $1,000 something. Where will a Fulani man be able to obtain to be able to get one AK-47? Are you with me? And now, so you will know that there are people that are sponsoring this movement. Then the Boko Haram and the Fulani, they go about Christian-dominated areas. You will understand that when this terrorism started in Nigeria, that only people that were killed were Christian churches. You will not hear that they kill anyone. It is Christians and churches. I remember in Kaduna then that churches began to look for security men to guide their churches in every service day. Otherwise, you can be in church and the next is boom, everybody dies. And churches that don't have money to hire soldiers began to use some of their members. I was a member of the security team in my church in Deeper Life in Kaduna in 2010. Because we don't stay in the church. Once I come to the church in the morning, we stay outside, moving around patrolling, because anybody can come and drop anything. So when Boko Haram started, the majority of Muslims, the Hausa, Northern Muslims, they were happy. I know of people that were celebrating it. If you see them crying today, I'll tell you why. At the initial beginning of this thing, they were happy celebrating the killings of Christians. They said they are purging Nigeria of RNA. It was majorly on Christians and Christian-dominated areas. But when it comes to 2014, the man Buhari and APC that wanted to overthrow the government of Jonathan, by all means, decided to employ mercenaries from Niger, from Chad, from all those Fulani, from other African nations where they're Fulani, and they brought them into Nigeria. What was the goal? The goal was that if Jonathan does not concede defeat, in the election, they were going to rain hell on Nigeria. So they brought in these mercenaries and they equipped them with rifles, the El-Rufais, the Buharis.
Beat the Dealer wurde von Edward Thorpe geschrieben, einem Mathematiker, Professor und später erfolgreichen Hedgefonds.
Are you with me? The El-Rufais, the Buharis, every one of these people called APC, they brought in mercenaries and armed them in the bushes and told them to wait. The moment Goodluck Jonathan did not concede defeat in the election, they were going to start. But unfortunately for them, Goodluck knew of the assignment. He got intel about it because the man said his ambition does not worth the blood of millions. So the man conceded defeat and left. And so they declared APC winner. Now, you have already brought people from different parts to come and fight. But what they wanted to come and fight for did not achieve anymore. So now they left those people in the bush. They left them with guns and ammunition in the bush. And when Buhari became the president, he abandoned them. Instead of them to settle them and let them go back, they abandoned them. And the people saw Nigeria as a place that is good. And the people decided to remain in Nigeria. Those are the people that started bandits. Before, we don't have anything like bandits. Banditry started under the watch of APC, under Buhari, because they were the ones that brought them in. Kidnapping, because they needed to survive. So they started by kidnapping. And they started by kidnapping. And they started by kidnapping. And they started by kidnapping. Over time, now, you understand that there are certain parts of this nation where there are mineral resources. Don't be an ignorant Christian. Follow me. Don't be an ignorant Christian. Don't be in a nation where you don't have understanding of what is happening. Now, there are some parts of Nigeria where there are good resources. And so, and this is have been illegally mined by elites, the military generals, the oligarchs, the people that are the leadership of the North. They were mining these resources, and the money does not go into the federal government account. So what they do is that they employ the services of this banditry to create two things. Number one, to create diversion. So when you go to Zamfara, that's why you hear that they say there is killing in Zamfara now. It's because of the Ilema gold mine. There is gold in Zamfara that they are mining. And so these bandits that are already in the bush, some people collaborate with them, partnered with them, and told them to see, keep creating confusion, create chaos. When you keep creating chaos, the Nigerian state and the people of Nigeria will not be able to focus on the illegal mining. They'll be concerned about the insecurity. So the insecurity is created as a means of diversion in the north. Are you following me? It is created as a means of diverting the attention of the military and the Nigerian populace from being able to focus on the illegal mining of resources. And any part of the north where there is resources, you find out that insecurity there. Recently, it has started in Kwara because there's a great amount of lithium in Kwara too that they have discovered and they're mining. So they partner with the Chinese because the people that do this illegal mining are the Chinese. They partner with the Chinese to be able to. So the bandits became the security men of Chinese and all those people to protect them. So that while they're mining, they can begin to cause chaos. Because while the people are mining and they're causing chaos, kidnapping, nobody will be able to focus on what the Chinese are doing and those people illegal mining. Every single day to this moment, I'm telling you, they are mining in those places. And they will take it to an airfield in the bush and fly it out of Nigeria. They are making billions of dollars from it every day while people are being killed. That is why you now hear that Muslims are saying that they are killing Muslims too. What you have, it is what Buhari created. The APC-led administration created. The banditry they created is what is affecting the North now. Because the people they brought to come and kill Nigeria in 2015 did not succeed because Goodluck relinquished power to them. And now the people have become thugs. They have become tools to be used in the hand of men that are using them to secure their illegal gold mines. And that's why you kill them. That's why you hear that they say they are killing Muslims. Now, the Christian persecution and genocide has been there. So you find that the other part, the Muslim and the Fulani men keep going around killing in all those parts. And the Christians and the churches have been silent for too long. This evil has prevailed in Nigeria because the righteous men have been too quiet. If we're ever going to win against insecurity in Nigeria, Nigeria must put two things Nigeria must do. Number one, Sharia law must be completely abolished in Nigeria. Because Nigeria is not an Islamic state. Why will Nigeria, some part of Nigeria, be practicing Sharia? The law guiding them, constitutional law, that believe that if somebody deserves to die because he speaks against his God. Can a Hausa man insult Jesus and I kill him for insulting Jesus? But somebody believes when you speak against Muhammad, you deserve to die. How do you live in a country with somebody that has that kind of mentality? The military have become complicit. They are compromised. Nigerian military cannot win this war. 20 years from today, I'm telling you, 20 years from today, this thing of insecurity will not end because there are people that are enjoying it, benefiting from it, and reaping from it. If Nigeria want to win this war, partner with America. Let them come and militant. I mean, if you have seen that in Kano yesterday, some people were protesting that they don't want America to come. Because they believe what they have been told is that if America is coming to kill Muslims, and the man says he wants to come and kill terrorists, but they are protesting. Anybody that is negotiating, people like Ahmed Gumi, Sheikh Gumi should be locked away. A terrorist sympathizer is a terrorist. A man that believes that you are not supposed to kill a terrorist is himself a terrorist. A man that believes that we should go and negotiate. How do you go and negotiate with terrorists? Because you see, terrorists are not just criminals. They are working with the wrong ideology. A man that believes that killing is, he has nothing to lose. How do you negotiate with a man that believes that killing himself is going to meet their God in heaven to collect 72 virgins? How do you negotiate with such a person? A man like Shegumi should be locked away. A man like Ali Mamabu Shari should be arrested. You want to win against terrorism, you must go brutal. No nation win against terrorism by pampering them. The custom is taking rice, seizing rice from Nigeria and taking it to terrorists in the bush that they need to take care of them because they are human beings. To know. The moment you have become a terrorist, that you see that taking the life of your fellow human being is nothing, is to please a God, then you don't deserve to live. Children of God, I'm not going to ask you to pray because this is not a period of prayer. This is a period of action. Reverend Dr. Ezekiel from Jos, the man that have been speaking, have paid attention. Not for once have they invited the man for interview because they don't want to give the man any airtime. But you see, any little thing they will call Gumi and give him microphone. Gumi, they are inviting Gumi up and down. The media is complicit. The Nigerian military are complicit. You can't win war with this Nigerian army, not because they don't have the capacity, but because they are compromised. Buhari created banditry. The people like Gumi and the rest of them, they are the people that facilitated the idea of Boko Haram. And today, some of them are your leaders in government. Some of them, most of them are moving free. Not one have been arrested. Kabiru Sokoto that bombed Nyanyan in 2011. When they rearrested him, guess where they caught him? In the house of Shetima in Abuja. What is he doing in the house of Shetima if Shetima doesn't know him? But today, Shetima is your vice president. How do you win a war where terrorists are ruling you? Where terrorist sympathizers are moving around? This is not a period to say we are praying. No! This is a period of wisdom. This is a period of action. Churches in the south have no idea. They sit in their cozy churches with employ them. They don't know what it means to be in the north. They don't know what it means to be running for your life. That every Sunday in the church there in Kaduna, when they say let us pray, everybody is praying with one eye open. Because you don't know God might go up at any time in the church. The Nigerian church must rise up. There's an agenda. And if you read the minutes of that meeting in 2010 led by Isa Patami, you will not believe it. I have a recording of his messages. Where's our people? Where he said, why will they be killing their people? He said, why will they be killing his Muslim brothers? Referring to Boko Haram as their Muslim brothers. How do you win with such a people in government? And that guy was a minister under Buhari for 8 years. Do you know why I'm telling you this morning? You are a Nigerian. If you are not aware of what is happening around you, in a short time, one day your calamity will just come. You will not know how. Are you with me? The banditry that is destroying them in the north was created by the people Buhari brought for mercenaries to destroy Nigeria in 2015 in case he did not win. Unfortunately, he won, and those people were left without fight. And they began to use the weapons that have been provided for. These guys have sophisticated their weapon. They move logistics, move money in dollars. Where do you think they're getting it from? You think it's from the sale of cow? No. The Bible says, watch and pray. We have been praying. This is the time to do what? To watch.
Ich wette, wenn du seit 20 Jahren Schmerzen hast, egal ob im Rücken oder in der Hüfte oder im Knie oder überall gleichzeitig. Und ich
Okay, so, oh God of mercy.
And Christians.
All right, so.
Because there are people that are enjoying.
All right.
Deploy them. They don't know what it means to be in the north.
So we have all heard it. I explained and then I leave it to run. For you to see that, where will you start to fight this insecurity in Nigeria? It is incurable. All of them, including Tinubu, they are all involved. They are all involved. Imagine Sanusi. Imagine El-Rufai. Imagine the vice president. Imagine the former minister of telecommunication. Imagine all of them. We know when Goodluck was on his gear to wipe away this terrorism. And do you know when they started? Since 1992. It's not a thing of joke. Since 1992. They were all shouting, attack on the Boko Haram's attack on the north. You are killing their Muslim brothers. Have you seen it? And they will brainwash them. They look at the protests that they are making because they are brainwashed them that Trump is coming to kill the Muslims. That's why they are demonstrating. They refuse to tell them that it is the terrorists that are terrorizing them that they want to come and buy. That is the propaganda they are using. What this our brother said, that time they were calling all the Muslims in the whole West African to come to Nigeria, that they are going to fight a jihadist war, that Nigeria is their God-given land, their fatherland. Just imagine. And people were thinking that it was a joke. People never believed it. They never believed it. They were thinking it was a joke. But today, what is happening? The vice president is there. So where are you going to start it? You cartoon somebody in France, they will come to Nigeria and buy the people. These people that are coming to defend this indefendable scenario, have you heard it? All was orchestrated plan against two things: ethnic cleansing and Christian genocide. And two of them are the same. You want to wipe away people that have one particular religion to replace your own religion. You want to wipe out a internal ethnic group to replace them with foreign mercenaries who will impose their own religion, maybe for the few that are left. How can you be practicing Sharia in a country that is made up of so many people and so many religions? Why is it only Islam, only Sharia that is in the constitution? They have planned this time ago. That was why they were fixing their people. Nnamdi Kanu said this thing, that they will come and buy you. Their brothers in the government, in the military, in the police, we protect them. And that is what is happening. That is what is happening. Sanusi led to the buying of an Igbo man, and they carry the head. Sanusi, who is presently the emir of Kano. Sultan is also involved. Islam a crazy faith. It's a crazy religion. Thank God for this, my brother, that got repented, and his father also got repented. Jihadism will force into Muslim. But thank God he came to realize it. It is really terrible. Now look at it. Look at this news. He said, Business Day. How we brought in Fulani militias from Mali, Sierra Leone, Senegal, others to win 2015 election, Kawa Baraje said. Just what our brother has also confirmed. And this man is an APC man, this Kawu Baraje. That's why Aputa, they say we are forming an alliance. We are forming different party. No party can cure Nigeria politics. No party. Who are going into the new party? Is it not the same people? Is it not the same people? All of them. So Kawu Baraje confessed in August 2nd, 2022, how they brought in Fulani militias from Mali, from Sierra Leone, from Senegal, from other parts of the country where they have these extremist Fulanis. Gambia, and so on and so forth. And they were making it known. They say that they are coming to fight jihad war, that all of them in West Africa should come into Nigeria. But people never took it serious because they have positioned their people in the military, in custom. Custom will go and steal rice, steal Igbo's goods, and go to Zambisa to go and give it to terrorists. And this, our brother said it all. Why Fulani, this Fulani cattle rearers, what do they call it? Herdsmen. Their own is to buy. They don't kidnap, but their own is elimination. They will rape, they will destroy your farm crops, and then they will buy you. The Boko Haram, the same thing. Boko Haram, they will collect ransom and still buy. Same thing with bandits. The bandits can, maybe sometimes they can release after some ransom. After some ransom. But with Boko Haram, they will buy, they will collect money, they will buy. The same thing with the Fulani herdsmen. So you see, when the people that are leading you are terrorists, how do you fight this terrorism? That is why they are paying people to come and be saying rubbish in the media. Look at this information. So that is it. Where do we begin? How can Nigeria be good? The only thing is to share the country. Let everybody go. Let everybody go. Now look at this. They are busy going to go and have a negotiation. After they had the first negotiation, the one that we saw, maybe it's not even the first, but that was the one that went viral. What happened? They still continued in their atrocities. Now, as Trump said that he's coming to eliminate them, you know, they have told some of them have started running back to where they came from. Maybe when they feel that everywhere is calmed, they will now come back to go and regroup. Now, this is just recently. Look at another negotiation. Look at another negotiation with the terrorists by Nigerian government. This is November 9, 2025, which was just yesterday. Just yesterday, Nigeria went ahead to negotiate again with terrorists. Yesterday, November 9, 2025. Yesterday being Sunday, November 9, 2025, they still went again and hear the confession of the terrorists. Look at how everywhere is still full. Nigeria, see the heading. Look at it. Nigerian government turned us to terrorists, bandits say during fresh peace deal in Katsina. And bandits. Terrorists said during their fresh peace deal in Katsina. And this, our pastor has also said it. You watch some, there was a video I made, you see some shoppers. You see a shopper that came and landed and was bringing and brought a relief material to the terrorists in the bush. And you see some white men. And he mentioned Chinese. Ndị China ebugo Nigeria. China so n'ihe gburu Nigeria. Okay? China so na ihe gburu Nigeria. So China is also involved in this terrorism. China is involved because they are doing illegal mining, and they will be mining this money. Na-ebu ya na-aga China, na-emezi obodo ha. Nigeria anọrọ impoverished. What kind of rubbish is that? China will come and do illegal mining. Buru ego niile ha nwetere. They will collect all the things, tin, lead, gold, all the mineral resources, and will go to China to build skyscrapers, build ụgbọelu na-agba n'elu mmiri, build all kind of things. But Nigeria is in dark. That is why they are making mouth, because they know what they are benefiting. They are part of this terrorism. China is part of terrorism in Nigeria. The whole world should also sanction China. There were people have been asking, even the former is it Adam Oshomolo? Adam Oshomolo, I think, once said, how do these people buy shopper? It is government that is providing it, because they are benefiting from it. They have kept these people to watch over their illegal wells of mineral resources, at the detriment of the indigenous people. When they saw that the Southeastern are not giving them chance, they send down their terrorist military and police with the terrorist governors. How we create Bubago and all the tiger base were basically terrorize Southeast. Have you seen it? Let's listen to this guy. Okay, so now look at it. It says, at the meeting of one of the armed men address, at the meeting, okay, one of the armed men address residents directly, saying the insurgency and kidnappings were shaped by wider political decisions rather than only by local actors. Have you heard it? By political decisions. Now look at it. We read. It says, community leaders and council chairman from Sharachi, is it? Yeah. From Sharachi or Karachi, whichever one they are calling it, and Batangarawa local government areas in Katsina State on Saturday signed a peace agreement with a group of armed men, otherwise called bandits, terrorists. You see, bandits. Okay, it says, at the meeting, one of the armed men addressed residents directly, saying the insurgents and kidnappings were shaped by wider political decisions rather than only by local actors. It says, it was the government that wanted us to engage in banditry, but now it has called us and told us to stop. Therefore, by God's grace, we have stopped from today. We are stopped from today. That was yesterday. Just they think that they can deceive the Americans, okay? So that they will come and say the bandits say that they have stopped. Oh, the terrorists say that they have stopped. Oh, they are playing takia, which they are well known. Have you seen it? Said one of the bandits during the peace meeting between Batagarawa and Sharanshi held on Saturday. So this meeting was held on Saturday, but it was published on Sunday. It says, if the government wants all this insecurity to end, they have the power to end it. But they don't want it to end. For the past 2 months, we have been trying to initiate a peace talk, but we were unable to because they didn't know where we were hiding. Hey, Chineke nna. But when they finally decided to meet us, they were able to find and talk to us both today. Peaceful existence and the end of insecurity depend on the Nigerian leaders. If they want us to keep striking and attacking, we will. But if they want peace, we will also make it happen. It's not possible. They cannot stop again. If they stop today, tomorrow they will they will show forth again. They will resurface. All right? We don't have the power or wisdom to bring peace to the country except through the Nigerian government, because everything is under their control. Despite people saying that we are attacking, it is the government that made us do it. If they don't want us to attack or kidnap people, they can stop it. Have you seen it? However, today, they were the ones who called us, and by God's grace, we have stopped from today. Just imagine. You oppress citizens. If you want to cry, don't cry with us, the terrorists, but cry with your government, for they are the ones who made us do what we have been doing, the terrorists said. Previously, Sahara reporters reported that Kaduna-based Islamic cleric Sheikh Ahmad Gumi, okay, Sheikh Ahmad Gumi defended bandits terrorizing northern Nigeria, claiming they are on revenge missions rather than waging unprovoked violence. Oh, God of mercy. Nigeria. It says, Gumi, who has consistently courted public outrage over his sympathy for terrorists, made the remarks during an interview on Trust TV on Friday, which Sahara reporters which Sahara reporters monitored. Okay. The Sheikh argued that the Fulani herdsmen and bandit groups do not attack people without any cause. Could you imagine? Could you just imagine? So what is the cause? Okay. The former governor of Bauchi State, Issa Yuguda, was able also to go with a government delegation, have you seen, into the bush. The former governor of Bauchi State, Issa Yuguda, was able also to go with a government delegation into the bush, and they met more than 5,000 bandits. Chai, Chineke. They are all complaining. Those who have lost their parents, those who have lost their brothers, those from hostility. 2. Gumi said, while admitting that the killings carried out by bandits were wrong and obnoxious, the cleric maintained that the attackers were motivated by grievances and vengeance, not sheer brutality. Inokwa. Na ndị aji ndị mmadụ na-egwuri egwu o. They are using people's life to play. He said, yes, I know they have killed, and it's wrong to kill anybody innocent. This is absolutely an obnoxious thing to do. We don't support that. But you see, if you know their psychology, they are on a revenge mission, he said. Ihe Gumi nọ na-ekwu na just recently. Chineke nna. This is recent interview on Friday. This was interview made on Friday. This Friday nke agachara aga o. Ka Gumi nọ na-ekwu this kind of a thing. Una nụrụ ya? Arụ mere. Gumi, who has long advocated amnesty and negotiation for bandits, further claimed that Fulani herdsmen had lived peacefully with other ethnic groups for centuries, for centuries, and are only reacting to injustice. For injustice they suffered. Inokwa. Everybody knows. Everybody knows the herdsmen as well as the Fulani herdsmen. They don't just attack people. We have been living with them for centuries. Hey, they don't attack people without any cause. He insisted. Gumi insisted. Ọkwa ya na-aga ahụ ha since n'ime ọhịa. Na nọdụ na-eri nri with them since Jehovah. He urged the Tinubu administration to unify and rehabilitate the armed groups instead of launching military offensives against them. Ihe a wee Gumi na-ekwu just on Friday nke a gara aga. Friday was which date? On the 7th, abi? Sunday was 9th, Saturday 8th. On the 7th December 2025, ihe a nwunye Gumi ka dị busy na-ekwu. Have you seen it? Una hụrụ ya? Una hụrụ what Gumi is saying? So tell me where you can start this. How can you stop this killing? Ndị be anyị, una na-anụkwa. This is just recent event. Just recent event. Egwu dị. So America, please come into Nigeria and do the needful. We are begging you. Donald Trump, you are the leader of the world. You have human heart. You are a Christian. And it pains you of what they have been doing to Christians. And they are still ready to do it. Look at the tone. The tone of a briefing by Gumi. Now media on our Sahara reporters. Just imagine. Now look at this. He said 2023 video shows Malam Nuhu Ribadu. Shows Malam, this was in 2023. A video shows Malam Nuhu Ribadu, the NSA, National Security Advisor to the president. This current president, this Tifunubu nọ n'ọchịchị nke ugbu a. Okay, emotionally pleading with American officials for help to end Boko Haram banditry and kidnapping in Nigeria. He expressed a desire for Nigeria to become a beautiful country like America. 2 years later, as their wish for intervention is being granted, he and others are now dissatisfied with the US. Then he was not the National Security Advisor. Okay, he was, all right? He was 2023. Okay, yeah, 2023. Good luck. Tinubu came in 2023. Okay, so this was their regime. So they went thinking that they can come it so that their government can gara hananzu. But look at it today. I saw a woman that was confessing that Tinubu told him, if you fight Boko Haram, they will buy you. that if you fight Boko Haram, you'll be paid. And that is why they are in the internet garbaging lies, trying to deceive themselves. Recently, they are not afraid, though, they are not shaking, because they thought that they have grabbed Nigeria and they have damaged the brains of people with their infiltrated cows. And their poisonous cows. Now damage brain in the mother. Let us listen to this discussion.
This is the cause of all the other problems. It must be given priority. And let's stop these terrorists. Let's stop these bandits. Let's stop these extremists.
This thing is slow.
Let's stop them. The world can do it. Let us be given back our freedom. We want to live like the rest of the world. They have robbed us of our freedom of doing basic things. You can't live normal. This is the cause of all the other problems. It must be given priority. And let's stop these terrorists. Let's stop these bandits. Let's stop these extremists. Let's stop them. The world can do it. Let us be given back our freedom. We want to live like the rest of the world. They have robbed us of our freedom of doing basic things. You can't live normal. This is the cause of all the other problems. It must be given priority. And let's stop these terrorists. Let's stop these bandits. Let's stop these extremists. Let's stop them. The world can do it. Let us be given back our freedom. We want to live like the rest of the world. They have robbed us of our freedom of doing basic things. You can't live normal.
So you see, the National Security Advisor, when he went to US in 2023, pleading, begging that they should come and help, begging America to come and help them to end this terrorism, which means they don't have power, but all buri mon ha my auto say mon. Your innocent civilians name they will come after them. If you open a media, they will look for where you are. Just imagine a couple, a young girl. No Kuroku may express her ordeal, may have express herself. Now one attack. What did they do? They threatened life out of this girl. Even as people spoke out, yet they punished that girl by giving her extra months. After the extra months of punishment, they seized her NYC certificate. They refused to give her NYC certificate. Innocent people, have you seen it? But look at it. He's here begging. Hey, we country you. Monogana country doesn't know that they should come and help them to stop what they brought in upon themselves. What they built up is more than them now. Now ask me. He is still the National Security Advisor. Now Trump has answered that call that you went in 2023. The next war, because they don't want it to end, because they know Otu Hanandi China Sineme illegal business at the detriment of people, buying people. They are all shouting. That 2020, when they came in, when Tinubu came, he didn't know that he can still be making money through that means, through terrorism. So they have seen that they can make money through terrorism. That is why it is paining them that the leader of the free world, Donald Trump, has declared interest to protect the Christians. Just like Gumi said that buying the Boko Haram is buying their Muslim brothers. So Trump wants to stop the buying of his own Christian brothers. So that is the problem. I'm still asking, how can this be stopped? The only problem is to let people go their way. Let ndị na-achọ ha ịpụ, we want to go, Biafrans want to go. Anyị ahụjugo anya. We have seen a lot. We have seen a lot. We have heard a lot. So we want to go. We want to have our peace. Just like what he said, that we want to live like a people. We want to have our peace. We want to have back our freedom. Just like what we say, we too, the Biafrans, we want to have our freedom. We want to have our peace. You people have really dealt with us. So we want to have our peace. Biafrans want to have their peace. Biafrans want to have their freedom. A country that is full of hatred. You don't love each other. How can it work? It cannot work. They have gone to tell the leader of the terrorists. This one who to tell you. Or say by God's grace, we are stopping today. Which today? I say, if at all that they will reduce, it's just for a while. Then you will see them in their full action. Okay. So now look at this news. Let me read this news for us. Now, this is Fox News. Unfortunately, it's not on the screen because I have something on the screen already. Fox News, just now. Okay. It says, first on Fox, President Trump is threatening a $1 billion lawsuit against the BBC, accusing the British broadcaster of spreading false and defamatory claims in his controversial panorama documentary about his January 6, 2021 speech. The BBC is already in turmoil over the program's alleged omissions, including Trump's call for supporters to protest peacefully. The president has given the British broadcaster a Friday deadline. To make things right or face legal action. This is just this Friday that went away. Okay. Kwuno hụ ndị BBC wagburu Biafra. BBC used their news and crippled Biafra, reporting that there is a rebel group that is terrorizing Nigeria, fighting war against Nigeria, and the whole world carried it. BBC. It's BBC that escalated, that exaggerated the problem of this thing that happened in 2019. This pandemic that came, which they used to destroy Trump's regime. Coronavirus. BBC buru ya n'isi. They were all against Trump. BBC. BBC will come and listen to your news. They will just cut a part and go and rephrase and say what that will suit them, give the audience what they want. Onye adịdị ka onye ndị an Arab man, this man nọ ebe a si na director ha, o yikwara ha. Look at this news, say BBC Director General and News CEO resign over Trump documentary edit. Let's go. Here from, okay, now it says the BBC's Director General Tim Davie and the head of news Deborah Tornes have resigned after criticism that a panorama documentary misled viewers by editing a speech by Donald Trump. Davie, in the job for 5 years, has faced increasingly pressure over a series of controversies and accusations of bias that have dogged the public broadcaster. The Telegraph published details of a leaked information of a leak in internal BBC memo on Monday that suggested that Panorama program edited 2 parts of the US president speech together, 2 ex-president speech together. Imagine. So he appeared to explicitly encourage the Capitol Hill riot of January 2021. So this woman, they took a speech that Trump made when he was making a speech that he will fight for his vote, which was stolen, and then went and joined it to when they were doing this protest in Capitol Hill in 2021, and joined them together, presenting it to people that Trump was inciting that riot that led to damage of some government properties, just to indict Trump. And that was one of the problems Trump would have entered, because they garbaged it out and people were believing it. If not that God saved Trump for a time like this. God saved him for a period like this. Kunu na-ahụ arụrụ alị ndị BBC na-arụ. BBC, agwara m unu, no BBC killed Biafra by labeling Biafra a rebel group led by Ojukwu. And everything Nigeria was doing, they supported them against millions of people, children that they eliminated. Now it says the Telegraph published details of a leaked internal BBC memo on Monday that suggested the program edited 2 parts of the US president's speech together. So he appeared to explicitly encouraging the Capitol Hill riot of January 2021. UK political leaders expressed hope the resignations would lead to change, why Trump welcomed the decision. So Trump told them, well done for your resignation. You have done well to resign so that we can see if things can be made right. But before then, you have to pay $1 billion fine for that character assassination. Just as I have read it. All the able. All the able. Have I read this place? UK political leaders express hope the resignations would lead to change. They want change, really, UK. Why Trump welcomed the decision? It is unprecedented for both the Director General and the head of BBC News to resign on the same day. So both of them resigned the same day. That woman will evil. And from now where they right up the way the woman knew. One of them, she will read different thing just to tarnish image and get what they want. So the BBC has not responded in detail to the concerns raised in the internal memo published by the Telegraph. Follow live updates on this story. So he said, announcing the move on Sunday evening, just yesterday, David said, like all public organizations, the BBC is not perfect. Imagine, he wants to do damage control. Ndị awụ ndị ochie na ndị dịka ihe Malami Gumi na-eme ka ọ chọrọ ịbịa mee now. And we must always be open, transparent, and accountable. Why not being the only reason, you see, the current debate around BBC News has understandably contributed to my decision. Overall, the BBC is delivering well. Overall, the BBC is delivering well. Una can make damage control. Shy. But there have been some mistakes made, and as Director General, I have to take ultimate responsibility. Oh my own, this man dị ka onye na-akpụ isi ala. Ọ dịkwa na-akpụ isi ala. Ile ya anya nnọọ. Tone said in a statement on Sunday night, just yesterday, that the Panorama controversy had reached a stage where it is causing damage to the BBC. Why won't it cause damage? When they make damage to people, you people did damage to Biafra since 1966 to 67 or so, 67 to 70. Can I make why up till now? So you are afraid that BBC now they made damage to BBC. Okay? So you are crying that a damage is being done to BBC, while you have done a great damage to a lot of people. You have done it to Trump. You did it to Biafrans. You are the one that turned everything to Igbo coup. Instead of saying that Nandi Bonokwaro, we were on our own. Nigeria brought war to us. And you people equip them, sponsor them, and the next thing you will do is to turn it to Igbo coup. So you turn it to the coup that was done in 1966. BBC turned it that Nondibo made that coup, which had been starting until Onyedika Babangida Biada akwụkwọ na keke nọ na UK now. But this is what they use and garbage to the whole world, that 1966 coup was Igbo coup. Oh, BBC. The same BBC that labeled us rebel fighting against Nigeria. The same BBC. So you are saying that they are doing damage. A lot of your evil we afoga afunu as on otoro gagbagbunu. Otoro gagbagbunu. Otoro gagbagbunu BBC. Ihe na-asị woman na-efe money ọjọọ na-efe. Even BBC Pidgin, even BBC Igbo, all of them are liars. All of them, BBC Hausa, all of them are liars. One way BBC Yoruba, all of them are liars. Because their overall is a liar. Just like the leaders of Nigeria. That is why you see them coming to internet to come and lie through their mouth, through their both mouth. Look at, say, Turner said in a statement on Sunday night that the Panorama controversy had reached a stage where it is causing damage to the BBC, adding, the book stops with me. The book stoops with me. Adding, the book stoops with me. Either book or book. B-U-C-K. Okay? The book, okay? The book stoops with me. The book, yeah. Oh, sorry, this is stop. sorry. I'm getting agony. So saying, adding, the book stops with me. So the book is stopping with him. Right? Like, seriously. She said, in public life, leaders need to be fully accountable. And that is why I am stepping down. Why mistakes have been made, I want to be absolutely clear. I want to be absolutely clear. Recent allegations, allegations that BBC News is institutionally biased are wrong. You are a liar. So you want to clear the news that BBC are institutionally biased, saying that it is a wrong. It is not a wrong saying. It is a fact established. It is a fact well established. BBC na asibugo onwe unu. Otoroga agbagbu unu. Tones has been CEO of news and current affairs for the past 3 years. So this Tones has been CEO of news and the current affairs for the past 3 years. For the past 3 years, he has been doing this. The internal memo also raised concerns about a lack of action to address what it described as systemic problems. Systemic problems of bias in BBC Arabic's coverage of the Israel-Gaza war. Okay, so they were busy reporting against Israel in favor of Gaza. Who this BBC? Everything Hamas did, BBC never reported it. Instead, they will use it and level against Israel. Excuse me. Asị m unu na nwoke a dị ka onye ogbu mma. That man dị ka onye na-akụ isi n'ala. That their director. Ọ dị ka onye na-akụ isi n'ala. Lezie ya anya. You will see, this is how they reason. This is how they reason. It says, in Trump's speech in Washington, D.C. on 6th January 2021, he said, "We are going to walk down to the Capitol, and we are going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women." However, in the Panorama edit, he was showing in the Panorama edit he was showing in the Panorama edit he was shown saying, "We are going to walk down to the Capitol, and I will be there with you, and we fight like hell." Do you see how they join the news? This one they put it, hey Chineke na. They join this news, so the truth is out. They are now saying the truth of what they did. BBC unu dị egwu. Tifia akwa. A peaceful speech Trump made. They went and joined it together with the Capitol riot. So it further says, the two sessions that were stitched together were originally more than 50 minutes apart. Have you seen it? More than 50 minutes apart, but they brought this one and joined it together. Chai. Chineke nna. Ndị oshi azụrụ azụ. Hi. These are the people spoiling this world. A peaceful world. They are the people that are spoiling it. It says, the publication of the internal memo sparked criticism of the BBC, including from the White House, which described the corporation as 100% fake news. Trump responded to the resignations of Sunday, saying top people in the BBC were quitting or being fired because they were caught. They were caught doctoring my very good, perfect speech of January 6th. These are very dishonest people who tried to step on who tried to step on the scales of a presidential election. He wrote, "What a terrible thing for democracy." Ọ dị egwu o. Ọ dị egwu. Ọ dị egwu. Look at it again. BBC chairman Samir Shah is expected to give a written statement to a parliamentary committee on Monday. This Monday, today, commenting on the resignations on Sunday, which was yesterday. Shah said it was a sad day for the BBC and that you people sad day are still coming. Ọ ka na-abịa abịa. Ọ ka na-abịa abịa maka unu emego mpụ unu emela arụrụ ana. Okay? Commenting on the resignations on Sunday, Shah said it was a sad day for the BBC and that Devi had the full support of me and the BBC board throughout his tenure. He continued. However, I understand the continued pressure on him personally and professionally, which has led him to take this decision today. The whole board respects the decision and the reasons for it. The leaked memo. This memo was leaked. The leaked memo was written by Michael Prescott. Michael Prescott, a former independent external advisor to the broadcasters editorial standards committee. Sorry, I take it again. The leaked memo was written by Michael Prescott, a former independent external advisor to the broadcasters editorial standards committee, who left the role in June. Okay. David and Tony's resignation. So David and Tony's resignation statements in full. So you can get it here. Tim Davy, a 20-year BBC career that finally ran out of road. So this man has worked for 20 years with BBC. So for 20 years, he has been feeding the populace with false information. He has been deceiving people with false information for a whole 20 years. Who was this man? As So we further ahead. In the memo, he also expressed concerns about the BBC's coverage of trans issues, suggesting its coverage was effectively censored. I take it again. It says, in the memo, he also expressed concerns about the BBC's coverage of trans issues, suggesting its coverage was effectively censored by its specialist GBT reporters who promoted a pro-trans agenda. LGBT. Okay, sorry. In the memo, he also expressed concerns about the BBC's coverage of trans issues. Unu hụrụ no, nwoke ga-abụzi nwaanyị, nwaanyị abụrụ nwoke. You know, ha tụga egwu Chukwu. They cannot fear God. They can do anything. These Satanists, ndị a wee kwensu n'onwe ha. So, suggesting its coverage was effectively censored by its specialist LGBT reporters who promoted a pro-trans agenda. We further ahead. His late memo said he had left despair at the lack of action by BBC management when issues come to light. Oh God. So, separately on Thursday, the BBC upheld 20 impartiality complaints over the way presenter Martine Crossell altered a script she was reading live earlier this year. I take this again, very important. Separately on Thursday, the BBC upheld 20 impartiality complaints over the way presenter Martine Crossell altered a script she was reading live earlier this year on the BBC News channel, which referred to pregnant people. So this woman, the new scripts in the Aniru, which he was reading, she altered it and was reading different thing that was not in the news she was to read. And that news was about pregnant people. Let's go further. The corporation has also faced criticism in recent months over failing to disclose that the narrator of a documentary about Gaza was the son of a Hamas official. Could you imagine? Have you seen? The corporation has also faced criticism in recent months over failing to disclose that the narrator of a documentary about Gaza was the son of a Hamas official. So they came to give the news that will suit them, that will put them clean. The BBC broadcast of a Glastonbury set in which the BBC's broadcast of a Glastonbury set in which Pompidou Bob Lan led a chant of death to the IDF, Israel Defense Forces. Have you heard it? The BBC's broadcast of a Glastonbury set in which Punkdo Bob Lion led a chant of death to the IDF. IDF means Israel Defense Forces. So they should all be quiet. Also broke editorial guidelines in relation to harm and offense. In relation to harm and offense. Dame Caroline Dinege, okay, Dano Caroline Dinege, who shares the culture, media and sport committee of MPs, said the broadcaster had been damaged by what has become a seemingly constant stream of crises and missteps. Ọ dị egwu. Some media commentators were critical of the way the BBC had handled the latest controversy. Okay, so let's read this one here. It says, he told BBC, should I read this? Rogers Mose, the former head of BBC TV News, said the broadcaster had been slow to respond to the latest allegations. He told BBC News the Trump speech edit doesn't seem to be defensible, while other concerns raised in the memo, such as language around trans issues, were part of how the BBC has to rehearse. Okay, how BBC has to reshab and sorry, I'm coming, please. Why other concerns raised in the memo, such as language around trans issues, were part of how the BBC has to reshape and reform its editorial form from time to time. Okay, so this is where part of how the BBC has to reshape and reform its editorial from time to time. So from time to time, they will reshape their news. They will put whatever thing they want, garbage, cook lies, and bring to the public. And everybody will be saying, BBC News is an international news. He said BBC News. You don't know that they are liars. Al Jazeera News. Al Jazeera News is another demonic news media. So we go ahead. So in fact, let me end here. Okay? Because these are what other people say. Dorothy Baime, Shannon's fault. So people were now making their own criticism on how BBC has done a lot of evil for the past 20 years. Dave, this man called Davy, has been there, garbaging evil in the name of news. to people. Arụ mere. Arụ mere. So that is the problem. Okay? So ụmụnne m, ọkụ ụnụ hụ ebe mmiri si aba opi ụgbọghọrọ. So Trump, ihe dị gị ma mee ha. These people dealt with Trump. BBC dealt with Trump just because they want to put their satanists in position. Okay? So, last, according to Biafra Divine, everything is the truth is coming out. Last, the truth is coming out. UN is filled with. So that is how bad these people are. This is what they have been doing. So God will help us. All we need is our freedom. They can't, in fact, they cannot use their evil propaganda to come and destroy our struggle. This one, Juruhono, and that is why they have no option than to even mention Brigi. What we are suffering up to today is as a result of the work of BBC. Hanandi Britain. Mana, Chukwu abugu no. You will face your wrath. You will pay that fine for tarnishing the image of Trump. Okay? So, Ndibai, I pray that this news should go viral. This news should go viral. This news should go viral. Would anybody wants to talk? So, to speak to BBC. When you got BBC. Okay, so while we play music, I want to appreciate Aderelin. Thank you so much. Biafra Divine, you are wonderful. You are wonderful, okay? You are wonderful for joining. I have somebody here. The Biafra Diplomacy. Wow. The Biafra Diplomacy channels. Okay. This is the link. The link is here, dear. So this is the link. The Biafra Diplomacy. Ndewo Nwachukwu. Ndewo Biafra Divine. Ndewo nu. God bless you all. See the link so we can call in and speak to Kaiba BBC now. And we also see what the recent negotiation that what is this, Gumi and the terrorists in the northern part, Sanusi and Erufai, all of them, what they are having. They just have recent deal. And look at what Gumi came to the public to come and tell people. So please, I want you to come and help me to speak to them. Let us hear what you have to say. Please look at the link as I play this music. What happened? I can't even see. It's like the message has been disappeared. All the candy, way Igwaji ejozi eburugo bata. All the can egbochi this message because I just showed what Aderelen wrote here about UN. So the concan gbawara ha isi na ndị a dị egwu, all of them who the same. Ha niile who the same. We must push ahead. Emere ya Maazị Nnamdi Kanu, I am humble. So we'll keep going. So please, the link is there. The link is there. The Biafran diplomacy. So I don't really know why I wait little to see. And they have removed every message. I hope one message dị njọ n'ebe a. I don't see any bad message, any comment. I don't see any bad comment that is said here. A na-ekwu eziokwu, iwe a na-ewe ha. I have not seen any bad comment, but I can see that every comment has been disappeared. Why? That is what I don't know. But Biafra Oracle, Biafra Diplomacy channel. If you are still here, the link is here. Please, you can call and lend your voice to what is happening, because we must move. We must move. Anyị anaghị eme nkụja. Kunu na-abịacha anyị, anyị ga na-agakwa n'ihu. So as I play this music for a while, if nobody is coming again, then I will go. So please, the link is here. The link is here. If they stop, ọ bụrụ na ha bịachiri comment, ka anyị jirizie new voice. Okay, let us try voice to speak since ha kwụsịrị ha wepụ. So ọ dịgonu ka o si adị, ịnụkwa. So they are just busy making way for themselves. Na-achọ ịkpachichi ebe niile. No wonder UN nyere Nigeria iwu si that release Maazị Nnamdi Kanu, yet they are not saying anything about it. And that was why UN was sponsoring na-ebu nri na-aga ebunye ndị Boko Haram, ndị Hamas. Imagine that what do you say? Pantami is now permanent in UN. Pantami is now a permanent member in UN. And even Aminat Mohammed is also a permanent member in UN. Okay, hono. Ebe a na-azụ ndị ara. Oya mere ha na-eme everything ha na-eme. So it's well. But all we know is that Biafra is here. We will all go home and rejoice. Okay? So ndewonu. Ha mego nke ha ji wee bụrụ. So ebe ha chere chat wụsị ọha nwama. So from here, we'll call it or draw the curtain here till next. Bye for now. Ndewonu Muchukwu.